My name's Danielle. Welcome to my channel. My name is Danielle and I am a hydrocephalus survivor and a Crohn's disease warrior. So buckle in if you want to hear more about those two things and more. I'm going to start off with talking about my story and how it's inspired me to do YouTube and create a community online. I was in 3rd grade, I believe, and I was so scared. I had headaches, I was nauseous, and I did not want to do anything, clearly because something was very forceful inside my brain. And I couldn't even look at light, like the light that I have in here. I have natural lighting from my window and my ring light. This would have been too much at the time for me. I just felt like hiding under my blanket and curling up and just crying all day because of the pain that I was experiencing. I went to the clinic and I kid you not, the clinic would say, oh, you could take Motrin, Tylenol, and I had these really bad headaches. Like I felt like grabbing my head and like squeezing it. Like that's how bad these headaches were, or my PCP at the time, that I really wasn't feeling good. And every time I went in, it was just, hey, just take Tylenol and Gatorade and eat crackers and you'll be fine. I kept throwing it all up. I go ahead and ask for a specialist at Boston Medical Center. Not me, my parents, because at the time I'm 7 years old. What do I know about doctors and specialists? I struggled a lot trying to get the proper visit. However, they were able to schedule a CAT scan after many visits at the clinic. A CAT scan is a diagnostic imaging procedure that uses a combination of X-rays and computer technology to produce images of the inside of the body. It takes about like 10 minutes, maybe less, and they saw the amount of water in my brain. I'm also going to show the pictures of my brain as well, with the amount of water that's normal versus the amount of water that was in my brain. It was too much. So I went into surgery that same day. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, okay, like if this is gonna make me feel better. And the doctors before my surgery said, you're going to wake up with your head half shaved off. And I was very hesitant because I wanted my curly hair, and I felt so insecure at the time because, again, I'm like 7 years old, elementary school, I had a bunch of bullies. I didn't know where I was gonna get that confidence, and I struggled a lot with that. But more on that later. My first surgery, I felt better, but internally I felt like there was still a lot of pressure in my brain, especially with the shunt placed in. So I do have a little bald spot. You can kind of see over here. They placed a shunt right in this area, which led this tube to my stomach, and doctors stated that I was going to stay with the shunt in my head for the rest of my life. And my parents were like, this is unacceptable. Do prayers and our belief and miracles. I don't even have napkins near me. My parents prayed a lot for me to get back to my everyday life. After my shunt was placed, I couldn't do sports for a few years. I couldn't dance. And I had all these dreams as a little girl to kind of pursue that, and not being able to do that really broke my heart. After I had my first surgery, I was in a wheelchair for a few weeks. I was in the hospital for about 3 weeks, and then they were able to discharge me after 3 weeks. And I remember the day I went home, I wanted to cry, and I just wanted to never leave my home again, because I feel like you know, when you leave your home, like you always wish to come back like in one piece and safe and sound and whole. It hurt a lot. I get emotional with the story. I do know why, but it's just so beautiful to see how much I was taken care of at the time. So I'm literally crying off my makeup. So when I went back home, stayed home for a little bit, and this was throughout summer when I got sick, so I was able to go back to school September or October for 4th grade. I was so happy because I was in the same class as my best friends. We were never in the same class, so it was very special to be in that environment with supportive people. I got a lot of help from the school, James Otis, and I still talk to my mentors, counselors, all the people that helped me, from medical staff, school staff, outside of school mentors. I still have a very huge appreciation for all of you. So, love you all. Fast forward 3 years, I had a shot in my head and I went to Brazil, and I believe my parents did say I had 1 seizure out there, and doctors did say it was safe to fly, and I carried like all my medication. And then came back from Brazil. I ended up having a seizure in the middle of the night. Thank God I was sleeping with my parents at the time because I was rushed to the emergency room. My seizure didn't stop. I went into surgery that same night, and the doctors told my parents that they were going to remove the shunt and replace it with a new one because they had a feeling that it was damaged or misplaced, and if it moves, that's not a good thing. So they took out the shunt, put a new one in, and I was still having seizures. The doctors kept wanting to replace the shunt, so after the first replacement, they said absolutely not. You are not, you know, putting another shunt in my daughter's brain. And my doctor said the only solution is to kind of drill holes in her brain. And my parents had no idea what that would do, what that would cause. I went into a coma for 5 days. And before my coma, the doctors did say I was going to stay in a vegetative state for the rest of my life. Through prayers and again with the community, my friends and family all praying for my recovery, I was able to wake up from that coma after the 5th day, and I did not know what that looked like for the rest of my life. My camera died, but we are back. So there is a lot of power in prayer, and I believe that miracles do happen, that I am a miracle, and that I was saved, thank God. So on August 20th, 2010, I woke up from my coma, and I will put in a picture of my tattoo that I just got last year in Brazil, right behind my neck. I also got Miracle right over here on my arm, and the lotus flower on my leg, because I feel like my brain surgery has been a very major part of my life, and it's helped me get through many obstacles. I worked really hard to get to where I am today. All of my friends and family have seen me grow so freaking much. I'm gonna put a little picture here of my really short hair when I went back to school. I was very insecure and feeling scared, but here I am. I'm 25 years old and I can't believe it. After my brain surgery, I was cleared to, let's backtrack. After my brain surgery, I was homeschooled for about 5 months. It was in between 5th and 6th grade. I wanted to do something different with my life. I felt like before my brain surgery, I was a very shy girl and I'm very passionate about singing. There's gonna be singing videos, so watch out. I joined Zoomix, which is a non-profit music and technology and musical theater. They do so much now. I was able to participate in a cappella groups. I had my own radio station, which was so cute. It was called Oi do Brasil, where I played Brazilian music. I had some Brazilian news in there as well. I just had fun with it. Ever since I started singing more and putting myself out there, I wanted to take it a step further. So I joined the choir slash band in middle school. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but my best friend at the time, Jennifer, she was also very passionate in singing, and I was like, let's start a band. And so we did, with my great friends Juan, Francisco on the piano, and we had a drummer at the time. I forgot her name. I got to sing the national anthem right before the basketball game with my friend and alone. I was super terrified. I took it a step further. When I applied to high schools, I applied to Boston Arts Academy, which is a performing arts high school here in Boston, Massachusetts. It's the only arts high school here. I didn't get in my first time, but that didn't stop me. I auditioned with my piano teacher, Mr. Ed. He accompanied me with his guitar. I sang Amazing Grace. I was able to get into Boston Arts Academy my second time. I didn't stop. So I was like, yeah, I'm in my dream school. As a sophomore, it was very different because I felt like the transfer student. Felt a little left out, but it's okay. It happens. I really focused on getting a really good GPA in high school because I didn't really have a good chance to get good grades in middle school after my brain surgery. So got all A's and B's. I got a full ride to 4 years at UMass Boston. I was so grateful for a full ride because college is so expensive, and again, I just never wanted to give up. I applied to 20 schools. I got into like 14 of them, and my dream school, Boston College, I didn't get in the school, but maybe for a master's program, who knows. And then throughout my 4 years at UMass Boston, I participated in Beacon Voyages for Service, which is a service trip program that happened during our spring break. So my first year at UMass Boston, I went to Washington, D.C. and focused on hunger and homelessness. Then my sophomore year, I went to South Carolina and we focused on environmental preservation. COVID hit my junior year and I was supposed to go to Arizona to focus on mental health in the Latinx community. So that would have been awesome to do. So that's something that I definitely want to do in the near future. I was also in the salsa club. I didn't know how to dance. That was a perfect opportunity. I kind of bounced around a bit. I also tried the capoeira club at school, which is Brazilian martial arts. And I was also part of a business fraternity because I decided that I wanted to major in marketing during my 4 years. I also did intramural soccer. I was not successful in that, but I gave it a try and I almost got like ran over by someone because I just ran away from the ball all the time. Which is completely fine for someone that never played soccer. But I'm gonna give it a go this spring once the weather gets warmer. Fast forward to 2020, everything was shut down and online. So I was kind of just ready to graduate. In May 2021, I graduated and then I really wanted to reward myself with a trip to Brazil. So me and my sister went to Brazil for 2 weeks. We went to Maceió and Maragogi, our small little town, Ipatinga, which is where most of my family lives, in Minas Gerais. And now fast forward to 2024, which is so crazy to say. I am very passionate about fitness and wellness and well-being. I know that's like a really big umbrella, but lately I've been meditating every single day. I'm part of this meditation lab where we have a accountability group. We also get to experiment different types of meditation. I think meditation really helped me regulate my nervous system as well as my busy mind. This year, this is my baby, my journal. If you can't tell, my favorite color is pink. This year is going to be the year that we make it all happen. Our dreams, our goals, where we want to be mentally. One thing about me is to be where your feet are and just work towards that goal that you're trying to accomplish, and take it step by step, day by day. Never give up on your dreams, no matter how big that looks like. And if you think you're stuck, I promise you things will get so much better. I remember being on the wheelchair for a month and not being able to walk, and I'm so happy like I get to do this. I get to film, I get to smile every day, and I get to run, I get to cycle. Life is full of gets, right? Like we really get to wake up and make it the best. I'm going to link down